It was supposed to be just another peaceful Sunday morning. 8-year-old Lily Parker, dressed in her favorite yellow dress, walked into Sunday school with a bright smile and her favorite stuffed bunny. Her mom, Sarah, waved goodbye and promised to pick her up in an hour. But when Sarah returned, Lily was gone. No one had seen her leave. No witnesses, no signs of a struggle. The police searched every inch of the area. Helicopters scanned the woods, and missing posters covered every corner of town. But Lily had vanished without a trace, as if she simply disappeared into thin air. The years dragged on with no answers. Birthdays came and went. Sarah kept Lily's room exactly as she left it, hoping someday she'd walk back through the door. But after a decade of heartbreak, therapy, and dead ends, Sarah made a difficult decision to travel alone to the mountains where she and Lily once hiked together, hoping to find peace, maybe even closure. But what Sarah found in those woods was not peace, it was a clue. Something small, something old, something only Lily would have owned. It was buried beneath years of leaves and time, but it was hers. And that moment shattered everything Sarah believed about what really happened that day. Was Lily ever truly gone, or had someone kept her hidden all along? The search for answers would take Sarah down a path darker than she ever imagined. And it all started with what she found in those silent mountains. Sarah dropped to her knees in the dirt, staring at the small object in her hand. It was a charm from Lily's bracelet, the one she wore every day since her 5th birthday. Metal was tarnished, but the shape was unmistakable. A tiny silver heart with Lily's initials scratched faintly into the back. Sarah's hands trembled as she clutched it to her chest. This wasn't just a memory, was proof. Proof that Lily had been there. But how? And why now, after so many years? That night, Sarah couldn't sleep. She kept replaying the day Lily vanished, wondering if she missed something. The Sunday school teacher had told police Lily went to the restroom and never came back. Some thought she ran away. Others feared the worst. But Sarah never believed her daughter left on her own. She remembered a man who had shown unusual interest in Lily during church picnics, quiet, always in the background. The police had questioned him, but there wasn't enough to hold him. The next morning, Sarah returned to the spot where she found the charm. She searched the area carefully and noticed something strange: an old wooden structure, half covered by vines and brush, hidden behind a ridge. It looked like a shed, or maybe a hunting cabin. Her heart pounded as she stepped closer. Something about it felt wrong, like time had frozen around it. She reached for the rusted door handle, not knowing that what lay behind it would change everything she thought she knew. Sarah pushed the old door open slowly. It creaked loud enough to echo through the trees, but what lay inside made her forget everything else. Dust covered every surface, and the air smelled of mold and age. But in the corner of the small cabin, under a tattered blanket, was a child's drawing pinned to the wall. Sarah's breath caught. It was a crayon picture of, simple, but she knew that handwriting. Mom was scribbled at the top in shaky letters. It was Lily's, the same way she used to sign her school papers. She stepped back, overwhelmed. Had Lily been here? How long? And why? Sarah reported everything to the local authorities, but the investigation moved slow. Too slow. They treated it like another cold lead, nothing urgent. Frustrated, Sarah began her own search, combing through old church directories, visitor logs, even social media pages from years ago. She found something odd: photos of church events that showed the same unfamiliar man lurking in the background. Always watching, never part of the crowd. She took one of the images to the church's former janitor, Mr. Elkins, a quiet man who'd been around for years. His face went pale. "I remember him," he said. But that man wasn't from here. He was just around. always asking about the kids, especially your daughter. As Sarah looked deeper, she found whispers of other cases, young girls who went missing under similar circumstances in towns not far away. Was this just about Lily, or part of something much bigger? Sarah's hands shook as she sifted through more missing persons reports from the surrounding areas. Each case felt eerily familiar. Young girls, similar ages, vanishing during routine outings, school events, parks, even church functions. The same vague descriptions of a man no one could clearly remember. Sarah felt the pieces coming together, but no one else seemed to be listening. Law enforcement said there wasn't enough to connect the cases, but Sarah knew. Her gut told her. Something darker had been hiding in plain sight for years. One night, back at the cabin site, Sarah noticed fresh footprints in the dirty adult-sized, leading toward the woods. But no one had been allowed near the area since she reported the charm. She followed them, heart racing, gripping the flashlight tighter with every step. Deeper into the forest, she came across an overgrown path she hadn't seen before. Air felt colder, heavier. The trail led to another structure, an old trailer, hidden by thick pine trees. Almost invisible from any road, Sarah stood frozen, staring at the door. A faint glow flickered inside. Someone was there. She took a cautious step forward just as a shadow moved across the window. Then a girl's voice, called out softly from inside. It was only one word. Hello. Sarah's chest tightened. She hadn't heard that voice in years, but it sounded achingly familiar. Could it really be Lily? Or was this something something meant to pull her in? She reached for the door, not knowing what waited on the other side. Sarah slowly turned the door handle, her breath shallow, every nerve on edge. The trailer creaked as it opened. Inside, the dim glow came from a single lantern on a dusty table. The room was cluttered with old canned food, blankets, and children's toys. But what stopped her heart was the sight of a girl in the corner. She looked about 16, thin, wide-eyed, and frightened. Her features were familiar but different, older, paler, like someone who hadn't seen sunlight in years. The girl stared back at Sarah, unsure, silent. Then the voice returned, soft but steady. Are you my mom? Tears welled in Sarah's eyes. Her mind screamed yes, but something didn't feel right. Before she could answer, movement behind her made her turn. A tall man stepped out from the hallway of the trailer, quiet, calm, and completely unfamiliar. You weren't supposed to find this place, he said, voice low and measured. But since you have, we need to talk. Sarah froze, heart pounding. The girl didn't react. She just sat there, watching. That's when Sarah noticed something even more unsettling. There were no pictures, no keepsakes, nothing personal that suggested this was Lily's home. Just the drawing and the bracelet charm, planted. Was this girl really her daughter, or someone trained to seem like her? The man stepped closer. You've come a long way to find answers, he said. But are you sure you want to know the whole truth? Sarah suddenly realized this wasn't a rescue. It might be a trap. Sarah didn't answer right away. Her eyes flicked between the man and the girl, trying to read the truth in their faces. The girl looked scared, confused, but not surprised to see Sarah. The man, however, was far too calm. Sarah kept her voice steady. Who are you? She asked. He smiled slightly. Just someone who gave lost children a place to stay. Children no one came for. Sarah's heart sank. Apata came for mine, she whispered. The girl's eyes filled with tears. He told me you stopped looking, she said quietly. That was when Sarah knew. It was Lily, her daughter. The shape of her nose, the way she tilted her head, was her. Older, changed, but still Lily. The man stepped forward, but Sarah had already hit the emergency call button on her phone, tucked in her coat pocket. She spoke calmly, keeping him distracted. Why now? Why leave that charm in the woods? He blinked. I didn't. He looked at Lily. She stared back at him, silent, defiant. She had left the clue. Just then, sirens echoed faintly through the forest. The man's face changed. Panic. He moved, but Sarah grabbed Lily and bolted through the door. Lights appeared between the trees. Police tackled the man before he reached them, as Lily clung to her mother for the first time in years. A new question burned in Sarah's mind. How many more children were still out there, waiting for someone to come? And had Lily truly escaped, or just been let go? In the days that followed, Sarah stayed by Lily's side as doctors and investigators worked to piece together the years that had been stolen from them. Lily, quiet at first, slowly began to open up. She had been moved from place to place, told her mother had given up, and kept far from anything familiar. The man, whose real name was Vincent Hale, was linked to multiple missing children cases across the region. Sarah's discovery helped authorities uncover more hidden locations, and Lily's courage led to new survivors being found. Back home, Sarah walked past Lily's room, the same one she had kept untouched for all those years. Now, it was filled with laughter again, healing slowly with every new memory made. Though the past couldn't be erased, it no longer held them prisoner. News of the rescue spread, drawing attention to the case and inspiring other families of missing children to keep hoping. Sarah later started a small support group for parents, still searching, sharing her story and reminding them that sometimes, even after all hope seems lost, miracles can still happen. Lily never forgot what she'd been through, but she also never let it define her. Toget.